In a quiet mountain village nestled between mist-covered peaks, there lived an old Zen master named Ryuji. His teachings were renowned, though simple. He did not speak in grand philosophical terms, nor did he taught the practice of quick enlightenment. Instead, he taught the art of silence, the practice of stillness, and the importance of emptying the mind. One crisp autumn morning, a young man named Kaito, eager to seek answers, arrived at the master's temple. He had traveled far and wide in search of wisdom, studying many texts and speaking to many learned monks, but his mind was still restless, caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, desires, and confusion. "I wish to learn Zen," Kaito said, bowing respectfully before Master Ryuji. "I seek peace of mind. My thoughts never stop. How can I empty my mind and find true calm?" Master Ryuji, without a word, gestured for Kaito to follow him. They walked in silence through the temple's garden, where vibrant autumn leaves drifted gently to the ground. The master led Kaito to a small wooden hut beside a serene pond. "Sit," the master said simply, pointing to a cushion on the floor. "Empty your mind." Kaito, eager to follow the master's instructions, sat cross-legged on the cushion and closed his eyes. At first he felt a sense of stillness, but soon thoughts began to rise within him. He thought of his journey, the people he had met, the questions he still had. His mind was filled with images, worries, and reflections. He clenched his fists, trying harder to push them away, but the harder he tried, the more thoughts seemed to appear. The minutes stretched on, and Kaito began to fidget. His mind was in turmoil, and no matter what he did, he couldn't quiet it. His frustration grew, and soon he spoke up. "Master, I cannot empty my mind. I have tried, but it is impossible. My thoughts are like waves crashing on the shore, unstoppable." Master Ryuji, sitting beside Kaito, nodded slowly. "The mind is like the surface of the pond. When a stone is thrown, ripples appear, disturbing the water. The more you fight the ripples, the more they will spread." Kaito listened carefully, though he did not fully understand. "However," the master continued, "if you do not chase the ripples, if you simply let them be, the water will calm on its own." "But how can I stop the thoughts?" Kaito asked desperately. "They are like the waves you speak of, constantly rising and falling." Master Ryuji smiled gently. "You cannot stop the waves. You can only allow them to pass. The key is not in fighting your thoughts, but in letting them come and go like clouds drifting across the sky." Kaito sat still, absorbing the master's words, though still feeling a deep sense of inner turbulence. The master, sensing Kaito's struggle, decided to demonstrate further. He reached down and plucked a small empty teacup from the table beside them. Holding it in front of Kaito, he asked, "What is this cup?" "It is a cup," Kaito replied, puzzled. "And what happens when the cup is full?" the master asked. "It overflows," Kaito answered. "Exactly," said Master Ryuji. "Your mind is like this cup. When it is full of thoughts, there is no space left for clarity. But when you empty the cup, it is ready to receive something new." He placed the cup gently on the table, then poured water from a jug until it filled the cup to the brim. Nitrates. Kaito watched the water fill the cup, almost to the edge. "This is like my mind," he said slowly. "Always full, never empty. Exactly, the master said. Now, when you empty the cup, when you stop filling it with distractions, worries, and desires, you make space for something deeper, something more profound. But the trick is not to fight the flow. Just allow your mind to return to its natural state of emptiness, where clarity can emerge. For the rest of the day, Master Ryuji and Kaito sat in silence by the pond, by the garden, in the temple. They did not speak much, but with every moment, Kaito began to understand what the master meant. The more he tried to force himself to empty his mind, the more restless he became. But when he simply allowed himself to be present, without striving or grasping, the tension began to ease. Thoughts still came, but they no longer held him captive. They came and went, like passing clouds. His mind, once cluttered and chaotic, started to find moments of peace. As the sun set and the orange light bathed the temple, Master Ryuji turned to Kaito and said, "The mind is like a pond. You cannot control the ripples, but you can stop throwing stones into the water. The more you let go, the more stillness you will find." Kaito bowed deeply, feeling something profound shift within him. The master's words had opened a door within his heart. He now understood that Zen was not about forcing the mind to be empty, but about creating space within, allowing life to flow without interference. The true peace lay not in the absence of thoughts, but in the acceptance of them, and the ability to observe them without attachment. From that day on, Kaito stayed with Master Ryuji, learning not through force or struggle, but through the quiet art of letting go. His mind became like a calm pond, clear and still, reflecting the world as it was, without distortion. Taiting kami kato binpengo momitayo. And in the stillness of that mind, Kaito found the peace he had been searching for all along. The story of Kaito and Master Ryuji is a reminder that the path to inner peace is not found through force or struggle, but through surrender. The key to Zen lies in the art of emptying the mind, not by eliminating thoughts, but by letting them pass, and making space for deeper clarity and understanding. When we stop fighting our own minds, we make room for the peace that is always present beneath the surface.